All right, well, welcome back to the 2025 and Reflection 26 and Prediction series. Joining me today, Sandra Wiley, formerly of Boomer. So, Sandra, real quick, I said formerly, where are you and what is the plan for you right now?
Well, thank you for asking. After 30 glorious years with Boomer Consulting, I am starting my own company. First time in my life where I've ever started something completely on my own without having other people around me. So, Sandra Wiley Strategies launches January 1st of this year. So, I am a week into it. Still trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. And I have a feeling I'll have lots of opportunities and lots of things that I can do. But I really want to start focusing on the smaller entrepreneurial firms. That's where I started. That's where we started at Boomer Consulting. And I loved that period of my life where I was working as this small business owner, growing a business, doing the right things or trying to do the right things. And I have figured out what some of those right things are. So I think I can really help some of these small firms grow their businesses because that's what we get into it for.
From your perspective, what was the biggest lesson that you learned last year within this accounting space?
Oh, great question. I think that the one thing that and I think there's several, but the first thing that I would say is growing in wisdom and learning never ends. As PE entered our market, as AI became big and so to some overwhelming, as we saw some of the leaders in the firm start transitioning out or transitioning to new things, all of that was overwhelming and it felt like a lot of anxiety for some people. But what I saw was people growing in their wisdom and learning that never ends. And I think the people that I know that are probably at my stage of life where we're trying to figure out kind of what's the next chapter, those that stop learning, stop doing new things, they're the ones that are kind of sad. Those that keep learning and keep growing and keep doing new things, keep experimenting, they're the ones that are really they're rocking it. And so, I think that's my first thing. I also really think that I saw resilience in people this year. And that's my word for this year, I think, is resilience, because I really saw some really great young people who were growing in their firms. All of a sudden, they found this resilience that said, I don't have to do it the way that it's always been done. I don't have to do things like my predecessors have done. I'm going to do things differently and I'm going to make them really great. So I think those are the two things that really pop out to me: lifelong learning and resilience. Those really captivated my market this year.
Okay, second question for you. What was your favorite work, victory, or
Ooh,
achievement in
okay.
25?
Um, I would, because of where I am, because of leaving Boomer after 30 years, I think my victory lap this year was preparing for my next chapter. I didn't realize how much that was not going to be about setting up a new company. That's what I thought it was going to be about. I thought it was going to be, oh, I'm going to learn how to do a website and how to figure out what my technology is going to be and what my services are going to be. What I found was rediscovering Sandra Wiley. I have been Sandra Wiley Boomer Consulting for 30 years. Now I'm going to be Sandra Wiley, whatever I make it up to be. And I some of these are probably not a professional thing, but I'm back on my Peloton again, which is amazing. I am taking care of myself by eating better. I am back at the piano again. Years ago, I was a music major in college, and that all dropped. All my music dropped when I got so involved with Boomer Consulting, and I wouldn't take back one day of what I had at Boomer, not one day. But what I'm finding now is, hey, wait a minute, there's a whole lot more to me than just that. And so I can rediscover that again. So I think that's my kind of my victory lap, if you will, is rediscovering myself and re-engaging in things that I enjoy. And one of those things, besides Peloton and piano, is I am a Maxwell certified trainer. And I have really dived back into that Maxwell community. And boy, that feels good to take time every day just to learn a little through that community. And that's filling my soul, which is great. So I think that's my victory lap.
All right, last question for 2025. What caught you off guard last year? And it can be good or bad caught off guard, but something that you did not foresee coming.
I think the thing that I did not put enough weight into, I thought maybe it might happen, but it didn't. It caught me off guard. How many future leaders that are in our profession that are now looking at how do I get out? And they're taking the out by either going into a completely different world, right? Not even accounting, they're going to teach or they're going to go back to school and get a degree in something else. Or they're saying, I'm not going to stay at this firm. I'm going to start my own. I'm going to hang out my own shingle. I think I can do this without everybody else. And I just see this mass exodus of really great young leaders that we would want to be in our firms that are leaving. And I think PE has had a part of that. I think leaders taking care of themselves but not taking care of the rest of the firms have taken their toll this year. So that surprised me how many that I have talked to, people that I've known for years that have been in this profession that are saying, I don't want to do it at this firm anymore. So that's been sad, I think. For our profession, I think that's sad. However, I mean, they're growing other firms, right? So it's not like some of them are not leaving the profession. Some of them are staying. And we're just going to have a whole bunch of small firms that are out there that are just getting started. So I guess that'd be my surprise this year.
Switching to 2026, give me a prediction on a trend or a prediction of a change that you foresee for this profession in this coming year.
Part of this will be a change. Part of this is going to be still going on. I think PE is still going to gobble up. I think we're going to see that every day in accounting today. We're going to see another firm being gobbled up by either PE or a firm that has already been infused with PE, and they're going to gobble up some other firms. So I think that is going to continue. I think so it started at the great big firms. I think it's going to morph down now into the mid-sized firms. I don't see it necessarily this year going into the little small firms. I think that they're going to stop there. But because of that, I think that the other prediction I would say is this. I think this wave of entrepreneurs in our business, because of AI, I think that's going to be a huge part of it, right? They have figured out, some of these younger people are figuring out, I don't need as many people to start a new business. I don't need as much technology to start a new business. I can get the new technology that's coming into into our world. I can get AI to help me do some of the administrative and some of the research and some of the other work that, kind of maybe the entry level work. I can get AI to do that. So I can do this on my own. I do not have to have this big corporate America kind of, look. So I think that's my prediction. I think we're going to see a lot more entrepreneurs in this business, and PE is going to stay around. And I don't say PE. I was thinking to myself as I was looking at myself on the video that I look like I kind of look like that. I don't hate PE. I don't. I just think it's not good for everyone as what some people are led to believe. I think it's good for some, but not for everybody.
How are you personally currently using AI? And second, tag to that, do you see that changing in 2026 at all?
Yeah. So as I start 2026, I would say that, ChatGPT is my friend. We've gotten to know each other very well this year. So I think ChatGPT is one thing. Copilot, I'd used a little. I don't know it as well, but I have used it before. Zoom note taker, I love because that's wonderful. And then the other one that I've gotten really here, I even have it right here. My Plod. Oh my gosh. That little thing is wonderful. And I always ask my clients, before I start a phone call or something, hey, is it okay if I record this so that it'll take notes for me? But It is such a great little device that's costs hardly anything, and it has saved my life on so many times taking notes because I'm not a great note taker, and it takes all those for me. It gives me summaries, and so those are probably the ones that I love the most right now, and those are the ones I use the most. However, I keep watching people like Jason Stats, and I listen to Roman, and I listen to, and you just go online. Heck, with the Maxwell group that I'm on, every one of them seems to have a new AI solution out there that they're going to use. I'm watching because I have a feeling by the end of the year I will have 2 or 3 others that I will really be engaging with. I think the other thing that I thought I would share with you on this podcast is that I was at Kansas State University doing a speech for the Kansas Society one time. One of the professors, we were talking about AI and during my speech, and then afterwards he came up and he says, "I just want you to know how I'm using it." And he was in the accounting department. And so he would have people write papers, but he told them to use AI. He said, "Go out and use ChatGPT. You're going to be graded on what you can change in what they write. So you go ahead and have them write the paper for you and then print it out and then you edit it. I want you to go back and use your skills to figure out what's not right, what you would say differently. And I'm going to grade you on how you edit, not how you critically thought about the page, not what ChatGPT came out with." And I thought that was brilliant because that's what we need to teach our young people. It is not about not using AI. Use it, but you've got to use critical thinking afterwards. You can't just use it verbatim. So I thought that was brilliant on his part.
Last question then, as we look at 2026, give me a hope not. Here's something I hope doesn't happen in the coming year.
I think that I am hoping that our current accounting firm leaders do not take a nosedive into stopping leadership training. I am fearful that they've gotten so like laser focused on growth, meaning PE, whatever they have to do, right? Mergers and acquisitions, all of that, that they stop looking at how do I teach my next generation leader to be a great leader? Not exactly like I did it, but let them lead through the new skills and new development. And I've heard a couple of people tell me that leadership training within firms has kind of dwindled. Like they're saying, "No, just go out and go online and see what you can find." But they've stopped doing their leadership programs. They've stopped sending people to leadership programs. And I think that is a huge mistake because with the advent of AI, I think those entrepreneurs that are emerging, they have a lot of skills that they have to continue to really work on. So things like emotional intelligence and interpersonal and communication skills, it just all the things that come up when you are working on leadership. And I am a little fearful about that. That is I hope it doesn't happen, but it could. And some of that is budget. Some of it is time. I mean, our biggest expense these days is our time. And I think they think, well, we'll just let them spend more time in the firm. But man, leadership training is so important. And I hope that stays in place and does not dwindle. But I am afraid it's going to.
Sandra, any other quick thoughts on 25 and 26?
Well, I've been in this profession long enough to know that there is ups and downs, right? They do this, right? And even if there are a few downs in 26, there's going to be a lot of ups too. And I believe in the leadership at the AICPA. I believe in the leadership of people like Rightworks. I believe in the leadership of all of the leaders out there that are trying to do the right things and get the right message across. I would tell every leader that watches this podcast, put your learning hat on, put your wisdom hat on, and keep learning. Dig deep. Do something new and different this year that you've never done before. That's what I would tell people. That'd be great.
I love it. Well, here's to a year in 2026 in which we all achieve new growth through continuous learning.
Love it. I love it. Thank
Thank you,
you so
Sandra.
much, Eric.